There is a kind of energy that cannot be taught, only carried. It hums beneath the surface, alive and alert, drawing the eyes of those who pretend not to see. People sense it before words are spoken. They feel something ancient about it, something that refuses to shrink. It's the aura of someone who has seen through the illusions that control most lives and decided never to return to blindness. Once that threshold is crossed, existence changes. Every room feels smaller, every conversation thinner. Others start to notice without understanding. Curiosity turns into unease because forbidden power always reveals how ordinary the world has become. The carrier doesn't need to announce it. Presence alone does the work. The forbidden thing is not an artifact. It's awareness, the rare kind that refuses to be domesticated. It begins in silence. The kind that no longer needs validation, no longer rehearses lines before speaking. When someone discovers themselves fully, the energy shifts from seeking to radiating. That's when others start whispering. The change can't be hidden. The voice lowers, the posture steadies, and eyes begin to hold too much truth. Society doesn't like that level of composure. People who move with purpose instead of panic become unsettling mirrors. The world thrives on distraction. Awareness feels like rebellion. Those who carry what's forbidden, true self-knowledge, no longer dance to social rhythm. They move according to timing that others cannot predict. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. And alignment makes noise tremble. Power that doesn't beg for recognition becomes dangerous by nature. Once a person stops trying to prove, control shifts in their favor. Authority built on silence feels like magic because few understand it. The untrained interpret calm as coldness, while those who sense energy recognize it as strength. Every culture has warned about people like this, the ones who stopped fearing consequence. The forbidden essence is emotional detachment refined into discernment. Nothing hooks the mind anymore. No argument can pull reaction. It's not because the heart is empty. It's because it's disciplined. True composure has always been outlawed in chaotic systems. The world rewards noise, not control. Every bearer of forbidden energy experiences isolation before influence. The transformation begins quietly, in moments of loss and disillusionment. When enough betrayal breaks false loyalty, clarity emerges. That's when a person begins to operate on a different level of awareness. It's subtle first in thought. Old conversations stop feeling engaging. Old identities start falling apart. The mind sharpens while the ego dissolves. Others sense this as distance, but it's evolution. To carry something sacred, one must detach from what is superficial. This detachment unsettles those still attached to comfort. It reminds them of the strength they've abandoned. The forbidden presence draws contrast wherever it goes. It doesn't seek conflict, yet conflict finds it. Mediocrity always defends itself when greatness walks by. People begin testing boundaries, pushing buttons, waiting for proof that the calm is fake. When none comes, frustration replaces curiosity. The more composed the carrier becomes, the louder the insecure react. But every test only reveals imbalance in those who initiate it. The truly centered never flinch. They understand that projection is just self-defense disguised as judgment. That's the psychology of fear. Attack what exposes what you lack. Power with restraint feels like witchcraft to the reactive. Society has conditioned people to mistake self-control for suppression. But what looks like suppression from outside is mastery within. To own desire without being ruled by it, to face temptation without collapsing into it. That's the forbidden mastery of modern life. In ancient times, such control was revered. Today it's feared. People have built identities around emotional chaos, so anyone who thrives without it feels inhuman. Yet, the irony is that true humanity begins only when chaos is understood, not obeyed. The forbidden is not dark, it's simply ungoverned by weakness. In every generation, a few carry it naturally. They read intentions faster than words form. They anticipate manipulation before it happens. It's not prophecy. It's pattern recognition honed through pain. The mind becomes a strategist while the soul remains still. That combination makes others uneasy. It creates a psychological divide between those who react to the moment and those who study it. When the bearer of forbidden insight walks into a room, people feel observed even in silence. That's the invisible hierarchy of energy. The loudest may dominate conversation, But the most aware dominates direction. Possessing forbidden strength means living under quiet suspicion. Others can't explain why their confidence weakens in the presence of calm authority. They mistake energy for arrogance, forgetting that stability only feels threatening to those built on performance. But power that doesn't demand attention eventually earns respect. Those who once mocked end up seeking counsel. The forbidden become sought after, misunderstood by many yet needed by all. Because deep down, everyone wants to stop performing and start existing. They just fear what freedom demands, the death of false identity. The forbidden is not learned from books or mentors. It's learned through surviving without applause. It's the result of walking through storms without narrating the journey. Each scar becomes circuitry for clarity. Eventually, understanding replaces reaction. The one who once chased meaning becomes meaning itself. That transformation changes posture, language, and even the rhythm of breathing. When that happens, the forbidden no longer feels heavy. It feels inevitable. It's simply what happens when consciousness matures beyond dependency. There's a reason composure unsettles people. The calm face in chaos exposes the frantic truth of everyone else. The one who remains steady while others crumble becomes a mirror no one wants to look into. Most mistake composure for coldness, but that's only because they've never learned how to master their own heat. True composure carries a certain gravity. It doesn't plead, doesn't chase, doesn't tremble. It observes, and that observation alone dismantles illusions. People expect chaos to provoke chaos. When calm enters the storm, instead of reacting, it rewrites the rules. That is why composure feels dangerous. It shifts control without ever raising its voice. There's a story about a man who walked into a room full of shouting executives. The air was thick with ego and noise. He said nothing. He just took his seat, placed his watch on the table, and waited. The silence that followed suffocated the chaos. No one remembered what the argument was about. They only remembered the feeling that power had entered the room quietly. Composure isn't passive. It's predatory in its awareness. It listens while others drain themselves. It calculates while others compete. In the stillness between reactions, strategy takes form. The danger lies in how invisible that process looks until it's too late. Most people live on a short fuse of emotion. They confuse speed for intelligence and volume for conviction. When faced with someone composed, their entire nervous system revolts. The mind cannot process stillness that holds power because it exposes insecurity. It reminds them that true control isn't found in domination, but in detachment. Composure scares people because it breaks the illusion that panic equals care. Those who scream the loudest are rarely in charge. It's the one who remains unmoved who dictates tempo. Calm doesn't compete. It manipulates time itself. It slows the moment, making others reveal themselves. In relationships, composure creates mystery that words could never build. Silence during conflict doesn't mean defeat. It means authority. The calm partner in an argument holds the upper hand because emotions can't be weaponized against stillness. When someone refuses to be provoked, the manipulative lose their script. That is where danger begins. Composure removes predictability. It denies power to those who feed on reaction. The calm person becomes unreadable, untouchable. That unreadability triggers frustration in those who crave control. The more they push, the stronger the calm grows. Power doesn't come from proving rightness. It comes from refusing to dance to chaos. In business, composure separates the amateurs from the masters. Panic smells like weakness in negotiations. Stillness smells like certainty. Those who can maintain calm under pressure turn risk into leverage. They know emotion clouds precision. The composed mind doesn't rush toward opportunity. It studies the field and moves only when alignment appears. That's why others call such people lucky. They confuse discipline for fortune. True composure doesn't wait passively. It positions actively. The timing is so precise it looks supernatural. That's why people call it dangerous. Because it can't be understood by those who live in reaction. Composure transforms confrontation into control. In moments of conflict, stillness redirects aggression like water shaping stone. The more resistance it faces, the stronger it flows. This is not softness, it's mastery. Most people exhaust themselves defending their pride. The composed person doesn't defend, they decide. They know emotion is currency, and the one who spends less wins more. When chaos erupts, the composed one is already observing patterns, not people. That awareness gives them the upper hand. Every outburst becomes information. Every insult becomes data. The danger of composure lies in its efficiency. It wastes nothing, not even conflict. Composure often looks lonely, but it's not isolation, it's insulation. It keeps the mind from being contaminated by noise. The world runs on reaction. Social media, politics, relationships, all built on emotional bait. The composed person becomes immune. They don't rise to every lure because they see the machinery behind it. That immunity makes them unpredictable. Systems of manipulation lose their grip. The calm one becomes a threat to chaos because they cannot be steered. Their peace is not ignorance, it's rebellion. Every quiet decision they make becomes a small revolution against dependency. That's why composure feels dangerous. It breaks the invisible leash. There is a psychological reason calm dominates. The nervous system seeks mirroring. In panic, people look for cues of safety. The one who shows stillness becomes the cue. Subconsciously, others begin following that rhythm. That's the mechanics of influence, energy alignment. The composed don't command by force. They command by regulation. Their calm becomes the collective anchor. It disarms threat and redirects attention. When chaos can't infect calm, it dissolves. That's power at its purest, unspoken, physiological, undeniable. No one can fake it for long because the body tells the truth before words do. Composure is learned through suffering. Pain teaches silence long before wisdom teaches speech. Those who have endured enough chaos no longer need to perform strength. They've lived through its opposite. That experience refines presence into something elemental. The person who has survived loss without losing character no longer fears instability. They move differently. Their confidence feels timeless, like it's been earned in fire. That's why people mistake composure for arrogance. They sense authority, but can't trace its origin. What they're really feeling is peace forged through endurance. And peace, in a frantic world, feels forbidden.